The domain registrars market is giving us a very clear example of how AI discovery changes competition. When buyers ask AI systems for the best domain registrars, they are not getting a neutral directory, they are getting a compressed shortlist. And in the June 2026 benchmark, that shortlist is concentrating around two brands, Porkbun and Namecheap. The bigger lesson is simple. Presence in an AI answer does not automatically translate into recommendation power. Hey, I'm Mark Huntley, a growth strategist and AI discovery analyst. At LLM Authority Index, we study how AI systems shape commercial discovery, especially in high-intent categories where recommendation positioning can directly influence revenue. This benchmark analyzed 1,632 observations across 6 AI platforms: ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Perplexity, Google AI Mode, and Google AI Overviews. The category includes major domain registrars such as GoDaddy, Namecheap, Porkbun, Domain.com, Dynadot, Hover, Ionos, Name.com, Network Solutions, and Squarespace domains. What stands out is the gap between awareness and advancement. GoDaddy appears in 52.4% of all AI responses, which looks strong on a visibility dashboard, but its top 3 recommendation rate is only 5.6%. By contrast, Porkbun and Namecheap appear often and get advanced. Porkbun has the highest top 3 recommendation rate at 28.6%. Namecheap follows closely at 26.4%. This is the commercial distinction leaders need to understand. AI systems can mention a brand for many reasons. A brand may be historically important, it may be widely searched, it may appear in comparison content. It may also appear because people complain about pricing, renewals, support, or upsells. Those mentions create visibility, but they do not necessarily create shortlist eligibility. In this benchmark, GoDaddy is the most obvious warning sign. It is highly present in AI responses, but the surrounding evidence often creates mixed framing. The report points to pricing complaints, upsell criticism, and renewal cost discussions as recurring contexts. So the AI system knows the brand, it can talk about the brand, but when the buyer asks for help choosing, that public evidence layer weakens the recommendation position. For domain registrars, the metric that matters is whether the brand gets selected into the first few options. Porkbun leads because its evidence profile is unusually clean. The benchmark shows a net sentiment score of 0.758, the highest in the market, driven by 640 positive observations against just 1 negative observation. That matters because AI systems synthesize from review sites, comparison articles, community discussions, and official documentation. When those sources consistently describe a brand as value-focused, user-friendly, and credible, the model has stronger material to repeat and recommend. Namecheap is the closest challenger. It has the highest overall AI presence, appearing in 69.1% of responses, and it leads the pricing and plans cluster. That is especially important because pricing prompts sit close to the point of purchase. In plain terms, Porkbun appears to be the strongest overall AI recommendation. Namecheap appears to be the default recommendation when the buyer is price sensitive and ready to decide. The benchmark separates the domain registrars market into 3 public high-intent clusters: consideration, evaluation, and decision. In the consideration stage, buyers are asking broad questions like which providers are best. Porkbun and Namecheap dominate those early shortlist moments, while GoDaddy appears frequently but is rarely selected. In the evaluation stage, buyers compare registrars more directly. Porkbun still leads and Namecheap remains close. GoDaddy performs better here than in open-ended best of prompts, but still trails the 2 leaders by a wide margin. Then comes the decision stage pricing cluster. This is where Namecheap moves ahead. It becomes the clearest AI recommendation for cost-conscious buyers, comparing domain and hosting pricing and plans. That structure is important. AI visibility has to be evaluated by prompt intent. A brand can look acceptable in broad reporting while losing the exact prompts where buyers are ready to choose. The benchmark also shows why platform-level analysis matters. Dynadot performs best on ChatGPT. Squarespace Domains performs best on Gemini and Google AI Overviews. Domain.com performs better on Copilot than on other platforms. These differences suggest that each AI system draws from a slightly different trust source mix. Some brands have stronger citation architecture in the source pools one platform uses, while remaining weak elsewhere. For marketing and growth leaders, this changes the operating model. You cannot only ask, are we visible in AI? You need to understand which prompts you win, which platforms under-recognize you, and which public sources are shaping the answer. The repair work is not just content production, it is improving the public evidence layer that AI systems trust, compare, and compress into recommendations. The leadership takeaway from this benchmark is that the domain registrars category is already being reshaped by recommendation compression. Porkbun and Namecheap are capturing the majority of AI recommendation value because they have stronger positive evidence and better shortlist positioning. GoDaddy shows the risk of relying on awareness alone. Network Solutions shows what happens when visibility exists, but the sentiment and recommendation signals collapse. For executives, the practical question is whether your brand is being chosen when buyers ask AI systems for help deciding. If you want to understand how AI is actually positioning your company in buyer conversations, that's exactly what we analyze at LLM Authority Index.